Hello there, you beautiful people. My name is Willow, and welcome back to Supreme Commander Forge Alliance Forever for a 7v7 played on the oh-so-beautiful map Canis. And of course, thank you for joining me today. We have two teams here ready to battle it out, ready to punch each other in the face, starting with the northern team, which will be Team 1, and ending with the southern team, which will be Team 2. We're going to start in the northeast corner and make our way to the west for Team 1, starting with the green UEF. Going first, land by the name of Pat Manny. And he is rocking that bulky little comm as he builds himself a T1 Mex, and we move on to his purple ally, who happens to be a Cybran, if I could speak. And he is, of course, going first land, and his name is Irikaki. Irikaki. Irkaka. Eric. It's Eric. I think it might be Eric Kaki, but yeah, that's him. As we move on to the best color, not quite best faction, Cyan UEF going first air, and his name is Eris 200. Then we can move over to the Maroon Aeon best faction, going first land by the name of Maresco. Then we can check ourselves out a blue Seraphim going first land, and his name is very interesting. It is indeed Space Cat. And of course, we can move on to the yellow Cybran to his northwest, a first land opener for the man who is yellow by the name of White Rose, which is gonna be not confusing at all, I'm sure. As we look at the purple best faction Aeon player going first land by the name of Liebers. And we're gonna slow it down as we introduce the other half of the team. Don't want to miss any action as we move on to the pink Seraphim going first land, and his name, of course, is Lord Falar. Then we can move up to the north with the dark green Cybran going first land indeed, and his name is, of course, Caliber, and he's here to talk about guns or something. He's really enthralled with the number 50. As we move on to the orange Cybran going first air, his name is Comrade Bino. And he is maybe going for a sneaky first bomber. Would love to see that. As we have ourselves next up on the docket, a red Cybran. Lots of Cybrans on Team 2. Going first land, and his name is Jim Jack J. And he is the triple J of this industry. As we move on to the gray Aeon going first. I think he went first land, maybe first air. We don't know yet. Unconfirmed reports, as his name is Food Man Steve. And then we can check out the dark blue Seraphim going first land. His name is Chiza. I'm just gonna make that X an I because it's too difficult, and he is walking forward. And last but not least for the entire game, still sitting in his main base like a good little UEF, he's going to turtle up with a first air at the whitest color imaginable, which is white, and his name is Legend. Oh, man. Everybody, make sure you stay hydrated. I'm going to go ahead and take a drink, and while I take this drink, you should consider going down below and hitting that red subscribe button. Red is such an ugly color. You should turn it gray. It's a better color. You know what's better than gray? Blue. And you can change the like button from a gray to a blue by clicking that one. And guess what? It's free. You should check it out. It's really fun to do sometimes. And of course, with our shameless plugging out of the way, we need to speed up the game and talk about the map. So, Canis, yet again, mods broken. Can't tell you the exact amount of mass on the map, and I wish I'd remembered because I've casted it a bunch of times. There's a fuck ton of mass. They're gonna scoop it up, they're gonna turn it into units, they're gonna blow each other up, and we're gonna have a really good time here today, alright? Alright. And with that out of the way, we have to talk about it. We do, of course, have these waterways, which do restrict movement quite heavily, but, of course, you do have players getting established on each side. It really kind of divides divides the map into 2 different battlefields, and even then you have more choke points that divide the map even further. It's a very dynamic map, and we're gonna see some very cool plays coming out of these players. And of course, let's go ahead and get in and find our first little bit of action. I'm hearing something shooting. I think it's this AA, and there's a Mantis somewhere firing away, but good luck finding it. There's just too many colors and units out on the field. There's a Selin over here, and it's probably gonna meet a very sad demise, if I had to guess. Or not. Oh, never mind, it's dead. Did not survive long. If I get hopeful for a unit doing well, you know it's gonna immediately die. I'm just caster cursing it right out of the gate, and it's very, very, very funny. As over here to the east, we have Pat Manny. He's trying to get this forward hydro. He's really not all that contested, considering that our buddy Wedgend, who I do want to point out is one of the lowest rated players. He's tied for it with Eris, so do not throw hate at these people for playing what you perceive to be bad. They're doing their best. They're just plotting along. But Wedgend deciding not to move over to the east in a very bold move. Instead, looks like he's going to focus on air control, as they're already getting up some T2 mexes, and that might result in a very difficult situation over here to the east for Ichiza in particular. And I am super excited to tell you that some of our very first upgrades are on the way. Jim Jack J, or Triple J as I like to call him, is going for speed and range, and of course gun speed on the way for the beautiful Aeon Foodman Steve. And with that all established and out of the way, I want to ask you a very important question for you to answer in the comments down below, or if you are watching this live, yes, this was casted live in the chat. How is your day? Are you having a good day? If not, why? Brought to you by awkward segues into sensors. I love this upgrade. An Aeon upgrade, Aeon specific, 80 range Omni. You'll see things coming that you didn't expect. It's a very useful upgrade very early on, and it's so cheap that you can get it when you spawn and not stall mass or energy. Now, when you try and build something afterwards, you might stall, but you can get the upgrade by itself without stalling, which is very interesting, as we also have speed now on the way for Moresco, the other Aeon player. Got lots of upgrades going on, speed and range now on the way for Ichiza, and we have a few armies forming across the map. We have this large pink army out from Lord Falar. It's being flanked by Lieber's Aurora Armada, I guess is what I'm going to call that. And over here to the east, we have a large kind of legion of Zooies building up for Ichiza. He's going just pure Zooey spam, which is an interesting choice. And we also have a decent number of hunters, and now some mantis coming out here in the middle for Jim Jack J. And it is, of course, another upgrade. Speed and range now on the way for Lord Falar. Everybody getting upgrades. You get an upgrade, and you get an upgrade. It's like Oprah. Everybody check under your seats, because you're going to find a gun upgrade somewhere around there. T2 now on the way for Liebers after getting that sensor upgrade. He is really wanting to know what's going on, and then he wants to make sure that you respect his authority and respect his property, because he is going to build up some T2 PD, and they're going to wipe you off his lawn. And of course, Tactical Missile now on the way very early out from Space Cat. He's just kind of chilling. He's sitting there. You can see the little seraphim eyes poking out of the water. It's very menacing. And of course, he's going to get that upgrade and try and wreak havoc on the economies of these players. The poor economies. The hard blue-collar working mexes and power generators, and not to mention the humanity that is the death of an engineer. And of course, over here to the east, we have ourselves Nano Repair on the way for Ichiza. Just so many upgrades. We have a little bit of harassment coming out from Moresco, who has managed to get speed and range onto his Aeon Commander. He's throwing out some shots. That overcharge getting a juicy kill onto 3 Mantis and having himself a grand old time, as he's just cutting off the reinforcements over here for Triple J. And Triple J is so light on the land forces, he's going to have to fall back. He's got some rhinos from his buddy Caliber over here, who has built quite a beautiful wall. Call this man Trump, because he has goals. And of course, man, this is off the rails. Of course, we can go ahead and check out over here. T2 on the way for Liebers. Tactical missile about halfway done. Liebers finishing up T2. We still have a few land engagements going on. This pure Zooey force going to run into some trouble coming up against a more balanced force out from Eric, and of course Foodman Steve gonna show up, gonna put an end to this Cybran aggression on his doorstep. T2 has already been achieved. In fact, T2 HQ on the front lines for Eric. The man is mad. He is a madman, as of course he has set himself up with one of the riskiest plays you can do, which is build the HQ as close to the enemy as possible, because who cares about tech security? You don't need job security in this market. What are you talking about? Nano repair on the way. Tactical missile really taking a long time. I wonder how horribly that is affecting Space Cat's economy. He's able to afford it, but that's going to be a very slow tactical missile upgrade. Of course, still sub 10 minutes, but you can already see that TMD is being thrown up very nicely by Comrade Bino. He's just helping his teammates out. As here in the middle, we have a little bit of an engagement going on. Jim Jack J, the triple J of this game, having himself a struggle bus right now as he is down to half HP and having to run away. Caliber showing up with his own commander, but he doesn't have any upgrades. He does have some rhinos, which could be very useful, but has to be careful because overcharge is a thing, and guess what? It hurts. It really hurts. It makes you feel bad as T2 bombers come out. Jim Jack J gonna stand in some Janus fire. He's walking away, but not quite fast enough as these T2 air units gonna try and kill him off before he gets anything done this game. And here comes in another Notha bomb, and is he gonna die? He does! And oh no, it's a disaster because, fun fact, this is not a full share game, and apparently Steam is still open. Sorry about the notification there. I don't think the people on stream saw it, but I just took a screenshot. Woohoo! Because F12 is the key to pull that up. It's not full share, so all of this base about to blow up in an extraordinary fashion. Just watch this. 3, 2, 1, boom! Oh man, I love watching Cybran bases go up in flames. Not quite as good as watching the Seraphim one. I should really play share until death more instead of full share, right? If I want to get that satisfaction every time I kill a Seraphim. As speaking of Seraphim, we have a nano repair and gun speed and range comm out from Lord Falar, trying to assault the position of White Rose, the yellow Cybran, who has set up a shield and a lot of Cerberus. He's really running out of those T1 units. He's really starting to have some struggles, and he's going to be standing right on top of some Cerberus. Once those Cerberus start firing into him, he's going to have some problems. I think he can get out of here, but this could be very dangerous for the pink Seraphim. On the eastern side, shield now on the way for Foodman Steve, the base of Jim Jack J, a name I'm very sad I don't get to say more, is going to be split up between Comrade Bino and Foodman Steve. And of course, over here to the west, Lord Falar, he's doing his best. He's trying to get out of the dangerous situation. I think he just may, but this was a huge mistake out of the pink Seraphim because he's just left a massive reclaim field over here. Wish I could tell you how much it is, but yet again, the UI mods are all fucking broken. And I'm sure somebody's gonna be like, there's a UI mod to replace it with. Yeah, I know. I just don't know which one. And of course, right here, this reclaim field going to be very nice for White Rose as long as they get on top of the reclaim. And it does seem as though they have a factory building engineers for that express purpose already, so that should be absolutely no problem. As in the center, we have a shield upgrade on the way from Moresco. Moresco and Foodman Steve playing oddly similar games, both of them getting gun speed and range and shield on their commanders. I'm personally a big fan of Liebers, who has gone for T2 sensors, which is a very spicy upgrade combination because you usually go sensors and then you get like range so you can abuse overcharge, but he's instead like, nah, this is my lot in life, fam. This is what I'm gonna do. And of course, we can take a break to breathe, to hydrate, get a drink, make sure you have a snack at hand. You need to keep those electrolytes up so you can stay awake, or you know what, fall asleep watching my casts. Just make sure autoplay is on, I don't care. As of course, yes, capitalism, fall asleep watching me and make sure autoplay is on, or it's 10 months in the salt mines for you. As over here to the east, the T2 HQ not looking so bright as Chiza and Foodman Steve with shield and nano repair respectively going to show up and try and pressure this. This could be very dangerous. Foodman Steve gonna lose his shield, but he's still looking really healthy with 12,000 HP after that, as a few Janus come in. The Janus not really dropping bombs. I mean, I guess they did drop some bombs, but they're not really gonna do much, as the Seraphim cruisers are coming in, and now the technological advancements made by Eric are under threat, and the only savior in sight is Moresco, the Aeon, showing up to fix the shortcomings of the Cybrans. And also to beat back the Seraphim, because nobody likes those guys. Am I right? And of course, he's going to show up and throw some shots into the commander of Chiza. Chiza going to run away. Moresco sitting on that shield upgrade means he can contest the nano repair upgrade over there on to the comm of Chiza. Speaking of upgrades, we did have tactical missile finish up for Space Cat, and he does seem as though he's fired maybe once or twice up to 900 mass killed, but I don't think he's really gotten anything of major value, so that upgrade very much so a sort of waste. Is he going for a snipe onto a comm? No, he's going down here, but there's TMD. Might get one T1 mechs, but that's not going to be too important here. Lord Falar sitting on that nano and gun upgrades, trying to push in towards Liebers, but Liebers set up a decent little defense here. White Rose also setting up a decent little defense. So overall, Lord Falar not getting too much progress, and all of this reclaim has gone over to White Rose, and he is leading the charts at 8.6 thousand. Good on him for doing that. Speaking of economies, overall players are very close economically. Team 2 slightly ahead in those numbers in that regard by about 20 mass a second, but that's not too much when you're talking about hundreds. As over here to the east, we have Pat Manny, who we haven't really talked about too much, showing up with a heavily upgraded comm, gun, damage and range, T2, and shield. His comm is gonna be beefy. And him and Moresco trying to push back the combined aggression of Foodman Steve and Chiza. And of course, we also have Caliber over here. He has made the long walk from his base to this side of the map, and he's just reclaiming. He's having a good time with his stealth and gun comm. He's in the water. He's splashing around in the puddle. He's living his life to the fullest. As over here to the east, Foodman Steve and Pat Manny have a wet noodle fight while they fire into each other's shields. Not gonna get too much progress on either side there for those players. And we have T3 Air now finished up for Eris as well as for Space Cat. And on the other side, Foodman Steve at T3 Air, so is Comrade Bino, who has been very quiet this game, but they're all getting out their ASF. I haven't really seen a strat bomber on the field yet, so no real threat from the air in that regard. T3 Land now finished up for Pat Manny, who is just skipping Titans, going straight for Percivals, which is a interesting play. You can skip to Percivals if you feel like you need to deal with the enemy T3, if you think your enemy has T3. Titans in general will be better while your enemies are still rocking mostly T1 and T2 forces, but it is always a decision, and as I've said many times, more shit counters less shit. If you have 10,000 mass and Percivals, you're probably gonna beat a lot of things. It's really good. Percival's great. Actually, 10,000 mass and Percivals, how many is that? It's not that much, isn't it? They're like 480. It's like 20, 30 Percivals. Yeah, that's enough to kill an experimental. Build whatever you want to build. I'm here for the build shit movement. Just build anything. Throw your mass at something, otherwise you'll end up as an ass, which is just mass with no M, and that's very sad. As over here to the east, Foodman Steve and Pat Manny still having a wet noodle fight, but now it's starting to have a little bit more of impact as Natha's out from Lord Falar show up to do some damage, but Janus on the other side showing up to show Foodman Steve a good time, make him feel a little bit crispy. And the Janus may get a second pass in, which would be a little bit horrible. Oh, nope, never mind. They're just going to go pass, and they're going to kill off this T2 mech. That's more than enough Janus to do it. So that's going to be annoying for Foodman Steve. Here in the middle, we have more comm on comm action. I'm afraid I'm going to miss a comm explosion. There's just constant comm fights, all right? There's so much going on. There's so much happening here. It's like that song that they played in Vietnam way too much. No, not Fortunate Son. It's There's Something Happening Here. That song. As over here in the middle, the Tech 2 HQ of Erikai under threat. That's going to be very painful if he does lose it, but not quite at that point yet. There was a TML over here in the middle, I believe. I must have gotten killed, but that would have been very spicy. It could have one-shot that T2 land HQ. Moresco under a lot of threat, but his shield's about to pop back on, and that's going to save his life here as he has a cohort of Auroras showing up to protect him. He's going to be able to get into the water, but there's a destroyer there, and that is going to be a bit of a problem for him. Although destroyer only on 400 HP, he could just reclaim it. They need to be careful here. Janus going to come in to kill off that destroyer. Yeah, that's a very dead Seraphim destroyer. I don't know how to say it. It's got a weird name, like everything else Seraphim. As over here to the east, more aggression coming out. We have Rhinos out from Eric, going to be firing into a lot of these Zooies. There's really not that much teching up on the land front from Space Cat. Even though he is going for T3 land, he just doesn't have anything but Zooies out on the field. He's really using that Nano Repair Comm as a crutch. Super heavy shield on the way for Foodman Steve, and it's going to be finished relatively soon. T2 now on the way for Lord Falar. T3 now on the way for White Rose. Maybe see an experimental out of him. Overall economies, Comrade Binno and Foodman Steve with the extra economy from their dead ally Jim Jack J, Triple J, are doing very well. That's a kill-to-loss ratio of 19. I know it was very temporary, but Comrade hasn't been involved in anything, but now he's throwing away a lot of scouts, but that was very funny to see for a second. But Comrade Binno, Foodman Steve, both nearing 200 mass a second. A lot of players on Team 1 doing very well for themselves. And then you have players like Ichiza, Wedgend, Eric, and Liebers who are just very low on the mass income board, not even able to get 100 mass a second. And that is how the economies are shaping up for the moment. Bricks out from Caliber, starting to wreak havoc over here on this eastern side. Caliber really fighting over here on the east despite spawning on the west. Liebers also playing a very passive game so far. Super heavy shield now on the way for Moresco. Him and Foodman Steve going in lockstep, even though Foodman Steve did finish his quite a little bit faster. But of course, Foodman Steve now sitting on 3 ranks of veterancy, 25,000 HP on that shield, and it regenerates at 32 a second. It's a very nice little upgrade there for him. Pac-Manny getting T3 on his commander. He does have a bit of a fire base here, but with the combined efforts of Ichiza's comm and Foodman Steve's comm, you have to imagine that things are going to be very difficult for him in the near future. He does have some Percivals coming up, about 5 of them, to try and defend here, and he's going to have more coming out of his base soon, I would imagine. But needs to be careful still. Overcharge is very powerful, and you have 2 comms more than willing to use it. As Foodman Steve going to be the first commander to walk up onto this fire base. Pat Manny under a lot of pressure here. Once his shield goes down, he's not going to survive very long. Has to micro against the Zooies. This could be very, very dangerous for him. And of course, Pat Manny most likely going to be forced to run away here. His T2 artillery battery has gotten some decent value, sitting at 10 kills, over 1,000 mass killed. But he is going to be forced off this position. Did get a rank of veterancy, which is really going to help him out here. And Janus are now coming in to try and stop Foodman Steve, but they're going to do a ton of friendly fire damage there. And Foodman Steve and Ichiz are going to push back, but over here to the center of the map, we have T1 units now coming out from Eric, just going to push in, maybe even kill off T3 mexes if he's lucky, but instead stopping to maybe fire into this production line. And over here to the west, T3 now on the way for Lord Valar. And all of the action is happening up here in the northeastern corner. Foodman Steve, those Percivals really putting a number on him. He's lost the 25,000 HP of that shield. Without that, he would surely be dead. Ichiza not quite going so aggressively forward means that Foodman Steve was a little bit left on a island there to deal with his opposition. Do we have any experimentals? Fat Boy now on the way for Eris. Nuke launcher on the way for White Rose. And those are the only experimentals for the northern team I'm seeing. What about the southern team? Anything going on here? No, not really. Southern team, do we have anything spicy? Nope, we just have more of the same. Even got some RAS SCUs going to be coming out here soon from Foodman Steve. And we have a Monkey Lord just now started up for Caliber. That could change the tide of any of these conflicts, as there's just really not much to stop experimentals on the field other than this concerted force of Percival's out from Pat Manny. And fun fact, he is only one person, and he is kind of just locked into a corner. He's also built a wall, which is very respectable, much like Caliber. Wall builders, as we know them as. And, of course, we have the air engagements starting to brew up a little bit. We got lots of ASFs for both sides. I think the northern team probably has a bit of an advantage. 31 for Space Cat alone. Foodman Steve sitting on 25, and Comrade Benno sitting on 31. Let's go ahead and check. Oh, never mind. Team 2 definitely has air control. And of course, we are going to be looking at things going on over here to the east. Chizza, Caliber, and Foodman Steve gonna have to use their commanders quite heavily as a concerted push out of Maresco with T3 units, those Harbingers, and with allied support out from Eric. Gonna result in a very messy battle here. Chizza gonna walk forward first. Also have some Whalers out from Comrade Benno helping out there. Also, really quick, want to pull up something in chat. Biotoxin said super stream, having a great day with a super chat. Do want to say thank you for that. As I said, I'm only replying to chat intermittently during casts because I do want this to be focused as a YouTube video, not a stream. But I do want to point out the very nice generosity coming out from the community. Love you all and love all the support you all give me. As, of course, here in the center, we have a very, very nice force out of Liebers. It took him a while, but he's put together something quite nice. Although it's going to die pretty quickly because he put it together very slowly, and that's bricks. He literally just ran into a brick wall. But hey, I respect it because it was a... If you're going to run into a brick wall, you may as well do it with style. Am I right? Oh, man. As over here to the east, where are all these shots coming from? We have almost 4 Gunthers built up over here by Comrade Benno. Man, everybody on Team 2 is fighting on this eastern side, and on the western side, they're like, Lord Falar, he's got it. we don't need to worry about that western side. Lord Falar, he's going for it. I mean, I guess we do have here in the center a Monkey Lord and a bunch of bricks going to be fighting for Caliber against Liebers. And Liebers has now started building Exodus, the best destroyer in the game. And those Exodus just need to be careful not to push too far forward. I hope they're on an attack move and not just a normal move order. And the Monkey Lord is going to be pushing forward. I believe it's been spotted out, though. Well, I mean, they can see the shots coming out. They don't necessarily have actual vision over it. And in comes the Monkey Lord. And it's going to be trying to hide a lot of these bricks. And this could be very dangerous. There's not any comms in the area, but there's really just nothing here to stop this. Huge air fight breaks out between the air of Foodman Steve and Space Cat. Does seem as though Space Cat got the better of the first trade, but now he's going in for Comrade Benno, and he's getting shot in the back quite a little bit. The Monkey Lord continues to push forward. Space Cat needs to win this air fight if he wants any chance of being able to kill off that Monkey Lord, and it does seem as though he's going to be able to do that. Another Monkey Lord now out from Comrade Benno. The Monkey Lord out from Caliber, taking out this forward operating base. Was the HQ up there? No, it was back here. GC on the way for Liebers, but that's going to be built a day late and $1 short. as Caliber is going to continue to push forward with this Monkey Lord, and the Monkey Lord on the eastern side going to be a thorn in the side of Team 1. Novak's just now starting up for Pat Manny. GC halfway done now for Moresco. And the Monkey Lord going to push in here. Space Cat going to lose a lot of economy here. 3 T3 Mexes and a T3 Pigeon. Does not feel good, I assure you. What is he going to start building? It seems he's building strap bombers to deal with it. That might be a good strategy, but he needs to make sure they don't just get killed off by an air wing diving on them. Monkey Lord about to start taking the crossing across the river. Another Monkey Lord trying to be thrown up with haste by White Rose. Strap Bomber is getting some damage done, but White Rose needs this Monkey Lord, and he needs it yesterday in order to kill off the Monkey Lord out from Caliber. But even then, this Monkey Lord might not be enough with the forces assisting this Monkey Lord with these bricks. It's going to be a hard ask. And here in the middle, we have a Monkey Lord now out from... Oh, this was gifted over to Ichiza, and the 2 Monkey Lords are going to fight it out. Oh, but one of them is not able to fire. Oh, it's firing now. The power generator is going to be going down for White Rose, but the Monkey Lord dies for Caliber. And overall, the damage done was not too critical. Nuke launcher about to finish loading. There's an anti-nuke, I believe, over here. It's just now going to load as well for Comrade Bino. This one is loaded. If he fires at the west, he can get a huge value here, or even firing onto Caliber would be a good play, but firing into the main base is a mistake. Fat Boy also now finishing up for Eris. The Monkey Lord that was gifted over to Ichiza going to start trying to snake its way through the river. And is going to kill off that T2 Naval HQ for Liebers. Liebers has been very heavily bullied. Fat Boy firing some shots towards the Monkey Lord. Monkey Lord going to have to fall back here soon. And, of course, I think that Monkey Lord may just die to the chasing Fat Boy. Nope, Fat Boy's out of range now. As there is a strap bomber or 2 out trying to kill off the Monkey Lord. Not going to quite be able to do it before the air forces of now Lord Falar, Foodman Steve, and Comrade Beno all in the air game. Everybody remember to stay hydrated. I'm going to take a drink real quick. Space Monkey, has this game already been casted? Somebody in the chat said they've seen this before, but I don't know if they've just watched the replay or if they've seen it casted. Even if it has been casted somewhere else, well, fuck the other person. I'm casting it. Strategic launch detected. It's going for Lord Falar, and I'm sorry to tell you, but that's gonna... Oh, no, it's not gonna land. Fuck. Yeah. Yeah, I'd use the word unfortunate here. Not quite a disaster, but close. Because he invested a lot into that. And he's not going to get much out of it. But this game, surprisingly even so far. Here in the middle, I am a little bit worried. There is no concerted T3 force. There's just a few experimentals kicking around. But there's no concerted T3 force out for Team 2. I mean, we have sniper bots out from Foodman Steve, but that's a lot of micro on top of... Well, having to micro all these bombers in this air. He is the highest rated player in the game, though. Over here to the east, Titans, or Percival's dying to a bunch of T1 units out from Eric. Eric now has a Monkey Lord of his own. Experimentals galore. Shimmers going burr. I do love me some Shimmers. $70 of them on the map right now. Foodman Steve, a man after my own heart, going for sniper bots and Shimmers. But then again, he just plays Aeon, which is the best faction. Fat Boy firing some shots over, but needs to be careful. There are Gunthers already in place. Another one about to finish up. Those Gunthers already breaking down the shield. This Fat Boy may just die before it really achieves anything of note. Pat Manny finishes up his Novax. And over here to the east, we have a concerted push now of a GC, a chicken, 2 Monkey Lords. This is what you came for. Are you not entertained? We got big robots that are about to come over and blow each other up. We also have GCs in the middle, Fat Boy dying in the middle. This Monkey Lord out from Eric walked into the wrong neighborhood. That's all I gotta say. He really walked into the wrong neighborhood. Yeah, you wanna get out of there about as soon as possible, buddy. Because that's not a situation you win. There's a bunch of Percivals here that are going to try and even the odds. The Monkey Lord out from Eric, going to turn around. GC and Chicken in the background, not pushing. All of these Percivals going to be a problem. The first Monkey Lord goes down. The second one goes down. A GC could have made a difference here, but... and so could have that Chicken. But overall, I think this attack's been thwarted. And... oh no, I didn't get to watch the Shimmers! Oh... I'm sad now. Wait, were the Shimmers over here? That's not a Shimmer. Where did the Shimmers die? That's ASF. I don't know what he used the Shimmers on. He used them on something. And it wasn't very kind, whatever it was, because they're all dead. We have a Strat Snipe now out on the cards for Caliber. Everybody on Team 2 has T3 Air, by the way. Except for Ichiza, every single player has T3 Air. Also, we haven't really seen anything out from Legend, but he's building a Fat Boy. In come the Strat Bombs to try and kill off the commander of Pat Manny, but he is sitting on a decent HP pool. They're going to have to get a second pass, multiple of them, in fact. 3 or 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pat Manny is dead! Oh no, it's a disaster! He built the Novax. He was getting so much value over here. And now this Eastern Front is just collapsing. Luckily, he survived long enough to thwart the GC and the Yathotas. But this base about to go up in flames. Oh, it's still so satisfying. Watching it all go all at once. Also, there's an emissary building casually in the background out from Moresco, and quite honestly, the weirdest place to build a T3 artillery, in my opinion. Like, why not here? But, okay. Nuke launching over here, out from the man, the myth, the legend, White Rose.
Strategic launch detected.
Where is it going? No one knows? Oh, it's going to kill Ichiza because I don't think Ichiza's going to move his comm. Oh, he does move his comm. He's going for a snipe on the commander. He's not going to manage it. That nuke's going to land and kill like 5 Zooies. It'll still be pretty, don't get me wrong. But yeah, Ichiza gets far enough away. No, it got shot down? Oh man, I was hoping for at least a pretty explosion. That was, that didn't feel good. That hurt. That hurt a little bit. White Rose is hurting a lot more than me. He didn't even get his color. He's having to play yellow. He's the Yellow Rose. As the game is stagnating a little bit, we do have these players. They kind of all are sitting on experimentals, but they're afraid to push forward. Megalith over here for Caliber. Trying to kill off a GC, and it will do so. If the GC doesn't run away. Doing some nice crab micro there, walking backwards. Oh, but he didn't get the move forward command in time, so the GC should be able to walk away unharmed. Well, half HP, but you know. You know how it goes sometimes. Over here to the east, that's a lot of reclaim for these players to scoop up. That's a Soothsayer. Yeah, this eastern side, they know everything going on. And on Team 2, they have a Soothsayer in the middle, so they also know everything going on. Interesting how that works. I see the commander of Moresco. Not an easy target to snipe. 25,000 HP and shields is deceptive. But Caliber going for another snipe. And Team 1 needs to get their air game under control. Overall economies, Team 1 losing Pat Manny really hurt them. They're very behind on eco now. And Lord Falar is just building the weirdest air grid imaginable. Where is he getting all of his power? I mean, I guess he's building a bunch of power over here, but the power isn't adjacent to the air factories. It's mass fabs. Somebody smarter than me tell me if this is dumb or not, please. I mean, I guess he's not power stalling, so it doesn't matter, but wait, are these even all... They're all building strats. I guess if you're only going to build strats, this is good. And there's a lot of strats now kicking around that I have to worry about because I know I'm going to miss a snipe. I've been on top of things pretty damn well this cast. But gonna miss the thing and people are gonna go down like, you know, you missed a snipe at, 42-36. How dare you? You're supposed to be omnipotent. Why didn't you build an Omni sensor, huh? Okay. Enough making fun of the commenters. As in comes the Brick and Megalith Force to try and brute force their way through this kind of middle area. I mean, they'll be able to do it. That GC is a bit of a worry, but shouldn't be too terrible to deal with for them. Strat Bombers dropping bombs somewhere. A lot of ASF out from Space Cat coming in. And despite all of the players on Team 2, Azar is about to finish. Despite all of these players on Team 2 with air, they don't have air control. Somehow they're just building strats, but no ASF. Everybody has an air grid on Team 2 except for Ichiza. There are some SAMs which will make this a little bit less painful of a loss, but it's still a loss. Megalith trying to kill a second GC. Will it manage it? I don't quite think so, but it'll get close. And that Soothsayer gonna die as well. Losing a lot of intel is Team 2. With the Soothsayer going down, immediately losing another line of intel. The Tsar, it's not gonna live for very long. There's no way the Tsar gets to live long. It doesn't live long, it doesn't prosper. But it does get to fall back down near the bases of Ichiza and Foodman Steve, who will reclaim it. So, you know. And in come the Monkey Lord. It's gonna get shot at by a Novax. Ichiza built a Novax and he's building another one. Novaxes seem to be a common theme in my recent casts. Sniper bot's gonna get some damage down, but unfortunately I think all of these mexes are gonna die yet again. As this Monkey Lord's very healthy as it walks in. Broadsword's gonna show up, Fat Boy gonna show up, so maybe not, maybe the mexes live. But that T3 land HQ, wouldn't be surprised to see it go down. Oh, nope, never mind, this Monkey Lord was a masked gift. And of course, with that, the game's gonna stagnate a little bit. Got so many experimentals kicking around. I'll have to go back afterwards and count the number of experimentals in this game. So that way I can actually know for sure and clickbait the shit out of it. Or maybe I'll clickbait something else. Who knows? Emissary is done and now is bearing down on this general southern area. Might go for the air grid. Oh no, there's no shield on the air grid. Oh, it's a disaster. Oh no, this is a disaster. He just lost his air grid. One more shell's gonna fly in and kill off the rest of that air grid that isn't under the shield. Come on, where's the other shell? There it is. Wow, that was actually a really unlucky shell. Come on, one more. One more for old time's sake. I believe in you. Wait, was one of the ones that went down the HQ? Oh, nope, but it hit the shield and killed off stuff anyways. Okay. Well, Foodman Steve gonna be very sad with that. Oh, that's the HQ. Wait, it doesn't... How does the HQ look different from the normal ones? Aren't they supposed to look different? It doesn't look different. That's very confusing to my small pea brain. Unless that wasn't the HQ and I'm just going insane. But I think it was. Like, the Seraphim HQs, I actually do respect them, because all they do is just add more floaty bits, so you can identify them easily. Like this Seraphim HQ, it's basically identical to all the other ones, just more floating shit. And then the Cybrans I also like, because they just add spikes. I don't really like the UEF ones, because they don't look that different. The land one is okay. The land one is acceptable. But the Air and Navy ones don't look different at all. In come the strategy bombers. To like kill off 2 engineers. That was worth the payload. And I guess we're going to speed this up just a little bit because we've seemed to have reached a point where nobody wants to actually attack each other. Another emissary now on the way. It seems as though there is a counter battery now up. We have a disruptor onto the field firing onto that emissary. We're in artillery wars. We also have 2 Novaxes out from Ichiza. It's going to be a lot of concerted effort to kill off that artillery piece. We have a Hovatham now on the way, as well as a disruptor. Lots of artilleries going up for various people. Is Lord Falar going for one? He's sitting on a strong economy. Speaking of economies, Lord Falar is the top of the eco charts and is sitting on way too many fucking strat bombers. How many? Is way too many, you might ask? Well, 21. That should be enough to basically kill off almost anything on the map right now, as long as they can all drop. The shields are starting to falter over here to the northeast. Comrade Bino has now built himself a bug. We have another Tsar on the way for Foodman Steve, about to finish up. And it does indeed finish. 3rd Novax online for Ichiza, and he's building yet another. 3 Novaxes, concerted effort to kill off shields here. Also, of course, have a ton of artillery shells flying into that general vicinity. As a large push out over here to the east from Eric. He has a bunch of combatant preset SCUs, and that's a lot of bricks. Slow this down. We have a huge attack also coming out now from Lord Falar. It just seems that these areas are just not really being defended very well. There's not really as much emphasis on ground forces. If the air fight goes the way of the southern team, though, they can just use that air win, which it does seem to be happening slowly. Foodman Steve has lost all of his ASF, but there's a large air engagement. You can just use the Tsar and the Bug to deal with that. I don't know where the Bug went. The Bug is over here to the east. It's going to be shot down very quickly by the ASF out from Eris. And that's a lot of strat bombers now coming in. What are they going for? They're going for the comm of Moresco. Are they going to get it? Oh, that's a lot of strats, and Moresco goes down. And oh no. There's no other word for it. It's a disaster. Moresco is the first player to get an artillery. He's sitting on the strongest economy on his team. Oh, that might just decide this game. The strat bombers coming in clutch there. They distracted them with the air experimentals and used those strat bombers to deadly effect. And now Team 2 has access to almost 4 Novaxes, about to be a second artillery piece, and Lord Falar's streamlined production of strat bombers. Over here to the west, large group of T3 scouts going to be taken down. And this fat boy, I mean, it's just been sitting here shooting everything down, wedged, just trying to play defensively. It's another Novax on the way, and all of these Novaxes are getting decent value here. As they constantly strain the shields of their opposition. Disruptor gonna finish momentarily now for White Rose. It does seem as though Eric threw everything into that last push, and it just didn't result in much with the air experimentals and the 2 fat boys, or at least 1 fat boy. As the power grid and air HQ for White Rose goes down, the disruptor, not long for this world, will fire once, maybe twice. And yeah, it's looking pretty over unless we have some kind of, well, a miracle telesnipe coming out from Eric could be just what this team needs, but who do you even telesnipe? I mean, you could telesnipe Comrade Benno. I don't think you can telesnipe Chizza. Chizza's underwater. Chizza's underwater. Chizza's underwater. I don't know. I'm an idiot. You could kill Lord Falar. That is actually a really good option. Like, sure, you could, like, you just go in and you, well, he has nano repair. Never mind, that'd be very difficult with the PD he's building right now. Liebers has built an experimental. It's a GC. Yeah, it's we're gonna speed it up because I don't know if, I mean, multiple players are going for Telemazer. When that's happening, it's generally not a good sign. These Novaxes have been really valuable too. Economically, Team 2 is doubling the eco of the enemy. 2,000 mass a second versus 1. 4 Novaxes, a 5th on the way. I mean, I don't even know if they finish Teleporter at this rate. Their base is falling apart quickly. In comes 3 Monkey Lords that they just don't have an answer to. I mean, I guess they kind of do. They do have a very big force out over here for Eric. Space Cat, Control Ks. And the commanders are going down. Thank you all for watching. You've been beautiful. Thank you to the live viewers. I love you. Thank you to the Patreons and channel members. You all have supported me so much, and I appreciate it a ton. And of course, I hope you all have a wonderful day. And I hope to... Ooh, there's some kind of big-ass air battle going on here. Yeah, it's not going to matter. Lieber and Eris, last one's here. Eris goes down. And Lieber is right here, and he's not going to last too long. So yes, thank you all for watching. You have been beautiful. This is Willow, signing off.
But if I lay down and I play dead